Hi Year 2, welcome to our next science lesson. Today we are going to be comparing and describing the healthiness of different meals. Now let's begin with a knowledge quiz. Pause me now, and once you've answered all 5 questions, press play. You can either be answering them in your head or you can challenge yourself and write down the answers. Okay, question number 1. It is good to have large amounts of fats and oils in your diet. That is false. Okay, we should have a small amount of fats and oils in our diet. Number 2. A type of food we should eat lots of. Well, if you remember from Miss Baldwin's lesson, the 2 big groups of food we should have lots of are fruits and vegetables and carbohydrates. So either of those would have worked. Number 3, name one benefit of a healthy diet. One benefit of a healthy diet is having lots of energy. Number 4, would you rather use wood or plastic to build a rain cover for your toys? Explain why. Now, we would choose plastic because it is waterproof, whereas wood is absorbent. So it absorbs water very slowly, but if you had it for a long time, water would actually soak through the wood and get onto your toys. So it's better to have plastic. Question number 5, what are your 5 senses? Touch, smell, sight, hearing, and taste. Let's go with our vocabulary today. Healthy, unhealthy, nutrients, calories. Calories is a new word for us and it means kinds of energy. Now, what does it mean to have a healthy meal? Eating a wide variety of foods in the right proportions maintain a healthy body weight, okay? So we really want to be treating our bodies well, and that means we eat different amounts of different types of foods. So I want you to pause and have a think about the different kinds of foods you've eaten today, and you can use our food wheel here to think about whether it was one of the big groups of food that we should be having lots of, or are they the kinds of foods that we should be having a little bit of. Let's have a look at what a healthy meal might look like then. Okay, so we've got lots of fruits and vegetables. In the top left, we've got some broccoli, we've got some nice apples and fruit here, carrots, we've got some greens in this lovely meal here, some avocado and leaves in this meal here, and some fruits as well. And what else is good? We've got some carbohydrates, we've got protein in our fish and meat and nuts. And yes, it's a very healthy meal looking like here. But what about an unhealthy meal? Okay, so an unhealthy food is when we have lots of calories from sugar and fats. Now, if you remember, calories is another word for energy. So these foods are very high in the oils and fats. If you remember, oils and spreads, we just need a little bit of those on our plates. But these plates have a lot of oils and fats. And the kinds of calories that are in those more oily foods there's so many that when we eat them, our body can't spend them all on energy. So what actually happens is that they get stored in our body. So our body can't spend them on energy. So they get stored in our body, and that's when we would gain weight. Okay, we want to be treating our bodies really well and in a healthy way, just having that balanced diet. So these foods also don't have as many proteins, vitamins, and minerals, which we really need as nutrients to help our body, okay? Because it's just mainly those foods are all cooked with oil or have high sugar. So these are more examples of what an unhealthy meal might look like. Now again, these are really tasty meals, and it doesn't mean that we never eat them, but if we go back to that wheel, it means we just have less of them. Okay, so again, these foods have been typically cooked in oil, like a lot of oil, and they have a lot of sugar in them. So these cereals, for example, have lots of sugar in them. Okay, this brings us to our first activity. On your worksheet, you should have 2 pictures with different meals on them. Now, I want you to have a go at comparing these different meals and saying which is the healthier option. Now, in meal A, we've got water, we've got some nuts and carrots and apricots here, we've got a sandwich with some fruits and vegetables and more fruit. In meal B, we've got some salad, an apple and some milk and then a slice of pizza. I would like you to pause me, and when you're ready, we can go through some of the answers. Press play. Okay, so these 2 meals then. Meal A is the healthier option, and that's because it's mainly made up of fruits and vegetables and carbohydrates, okay? And it's got some proteins. It has very little oils and fats. Meal B has more oils and fats, so it would be a lot of oil and fat used for the pizza, more dairy, which again we need less of, and just very little fruit and vegetables if we're comparing it with meal A. So meal A has more nutrients, it has more of the vitamins and minerals that we need to have a healthy, balanced meal. In meal B, there's more of the fats and sugars, which are those extra calories which our body won't be able to spend. Now, I want you to have a look at these, and I wonder whether you recognise them. Have you seen these on food before? Pause and have a look and a think. Okay, these are called nutrition labels, and they have nutritional information in them. Now, we know nutrition is how many vitamins and minerals we have in food. So they tell us everything that's in a food, a nutrition label. Now, it will tell us some other things as well. It will tell us the serving size. So here I can see under nutrition facts, it says serving size about 1 cup or 140 grams. Okay, so that tells us how much one portion is good. The second thing it will tell us is how much calories and energy it has. So here we can see it has 250 calories. And now this is a good way for us to be able to know how much energy we will be taking in. If there are too many calories, then that's when we know our body won't be able to spend it all in time. So that's a really helpful thing for us to look at. Calories are a good thing, but we just want to have the right amount. The next thing that it will tell us is the information about the fats, carbohydrates, sugars, proteins, and salts that they have in them. So all those things from our wheel, we should find in a list here. So here it tells us how much fat, how much cholesterol, how much sodium, which means salt, and carbohydrates. Now, this is your second activity and your last activity of our lesson. I would like you to have a look in your kitchen and see if you can find some food with a nutrition label on it. And when you look at it, I would like you to see if you can find these 3 things. First of all, can you spot the serving size? Again, on this nutrition label, it tells me the serving size right at the top here. The second thing is the amount of calories, so the amount of energy. And maybe you'd like to think about whether that's a lot of calories or less calories. And the third thing are the different nutrients, so the fats, vitamins, proteins, carbohydrates. What is in the food? Okay, and I'd like you to have a little think, and then you can even think about where that means the food is on your balanced food wheel. Okay, and you can go back in the video if you want to have a look at that again. Thanks very much, Year 2. Enjoy your kitchen searches.